Throughout the years, many cases have been labeled as unsolved, looked over, or would be placed in the cold case unit due to lack of interest, evidence, or sense of urgency. Some cases have witnesses who are unwilling to come forward or maybe lack of witnesses in the case. Some of these cases are due to gun violence. In this video, we will discuss some of the remaining unsolved cases in New Orleans. Stick around as we discuss these cases, the unsolved crimes in New Orleans, Louisiana. Norman Briscoe, aka Eero, was born into a large and loving family with 8 brothers and 6 sisters. But in the late night hours around 3 a.m. on March the 13th of 2013, Norman was found riddled with gunshot wounds inside of a residence located in the 800th block of Elmira Street. Norman was taken to a local hospital where he was pronounced deceased. The authorities are still looking for possible suspects, motives, and leads. He was just 19 years of age. But if anyone has any information into this case, the information will be provided in the description box. Willie Brown, like Norman, had a large family as he had 3 children and 3 grandchildren. But on June the 23rd of 2014, at around 4 a.m., Willie was found lying in a driveway in the 4400th block of Cessna Court in New Orleans East, fatally shot, and was pronounced deceased at the scene. The case is still open and remains unsolved. The information will be linked in the description box. Kevin Wayne Brown was a New Orleans native, was a father, a stepfather to 3 children, and had 3 grandchildren. But on July 5th of 2016, around 10:20 p.m., the authorities received a call about a shooting near the intersection of South Saratoga Street and Washington Avenue. The authorities found Kevin lying in the street with multiple gunshot wounds and was immediately transported to a nearby hospital where he was later pronounced deceased. He was only 48 years of age, and the case remains unsolved. But if anyone has any information in regards to this case, the contacting information will be provided in the description box. Leon Breyer, who was referred to as Smokey, was born on February 17th of 1913. Being a New Orleans native, Leon went on to serve in World War II, cooking meals for those in Okinawa and France. Leon was married for 52 years until his wife passed away in 1987. But Leon always had his family around who would come visit Leon regularly, just like his friend August Lewis, who would come by almost every morning to check on Leon. But on February 23rd of 2012, August would head over to Leon's home around 8:30 a.m. to find Leon's front door unlocked and Leon inside, in his recliner, unresponsive. The paramedics arrived, then pronounced Leon deceased at the scene. He was 99 years of age. The family would later request an autopsy. Once the results came back from the autopsy, it would reveal that Leon had been strangled and suffocated to death. The authorities would later release a statement to mention that they were looking for a 33-year-old woman that they wanted to speak with in regards to Leon's homicide. But a week later, she would no longer be considered a person of interest into this case. The investigation is still ongoing and active, but if anyone has any information, the contacting information will be linked in the description box. Louis Brooks, who would often stay with Dominique Lewis and her 2 children, were home the evening of April 23rd of 2015 when a neighbor named Jose Cabrera heard gunshots around 10:30 p.m. and saw two men running away from the house. Another neighbor, who would often hear Dominique and Louis arguing, would hear arguments that night, but didn't think much of it at the time, but also heard children crying. Around 3 a.m. that following day, the noises would ultimately end. The authorities would be called to the area. There, they would find both Dominique and Louis lying on the floor, fatally shot with multiple gunshot wounds, with fatal shots to their head. It is unclear as to when Dominique and Louis were shot, but the children were unharmed. The investigators are still looking for possible suspects, motives, or leads. But if anyone has any information into this case, the contacting information will be linked in the description box. Although there is very little information in these cases and about the victims out there, it does not erase the fact that someone knows or saw something and can provide answers to the authorities and families. Could that be you? Thank you for spending some of your time here at the True Crime Spot. Also liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. We'll see you in the next video.